You practice, I make progress. It's the postman. You're listening to me on the Three Count Podcast.
Knew that she raised one icon. All of your hate won't change.
Welcome everybody to another great edition of the Three Count Podcast presents Now Entering the Ring. I'm your host Clifford Red Dog Miller, and it's me just flying solo because once again everybody decided they want to take off. It is cool, whatever, do what you want. It's the Three Count Podcast, Now Entering the Ring, which means one thing for you guys: we have a special guest. You guys have seen him on PPCW. You guys have seen him at LCW. You guys have seen him on CCW. You see him attached to CZW. And you can currently see him at Valor Pro Wrestling. Here's the man known as Adrian Bliss.
Hey, folks, how you doing tonight?
Man, I'm glad we got this finally put together.
Yes, definitely, brother.
Yeah, man. So I'm super hyped, man. It's funny because I get a lot of questions of how do I know this person? How do I know that guy? And how I'm so comfortable talking to some people. And I'm like, I don't know. I've never. This is how it is. Okay, I was telling you right before we started recording, right? Is that because the way I got your name, right, was I interviewed somebody and they pointed me to Rob. Rob then pointed me to you, and then here you are. And I always think it's funny how you're like less than 6 degrees from somebody who knows somebody.
Yeah, it's weird how things connect. I actually have a person in my family, I'll just put it like that actually is friends with Kofi Kingston's dad. So I got to, when I did some extra work, I actually got to pull him aside and say, hey, this person knows your dad. And, so we kind of connected a little bit, and that was kind of cool. But there's definitely a 6 degrees in professional wrestling. I think everyone knows everyone somehow.
Everybody knows everybody. You can find, if you're in the business and you really want to get in touch with somebody, you can do it. There's always a way.
Definitely.
I have a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine. His name's Roman. And people are going to be like, they're going to look for his name. Trust me, don't worry about it. But he was like, yeah, man, I ran into him. I knew him in college, and we both joined the military. Then we both came back, and then he became a pro wrestler. And I was like, oh, bro. And then he was just like name dropping people to me. And I was like, I can't wait to interview those guys. So my first question, man, I ask every single person is, who is Adrian Bliss?
Adrian Bliss is kind of a mix between the exotic Adrian Street when he first started, because he had the long dreads that he wore in pigtails and the exotic outfits with the feathers and things like that. And kind of like a Bruiser Brody, crazy wrestler type guy. Now he's a little more subdued. He's a little more methodical, but he's still Bliss. Everyone knows him, and they all know that when he hits that ring, they're in for a big treat.
That's awesome, man. I love it. So what keeps your drive going in the business?
Man, I tell you, the one main thing, and all wrestlers will tell you this, the biggest thing about being a pro wrestler is walking out of that curtain and seeing the smile on that kid's face. Even when you have bad days, and everyone has them, you may go to the arena, you may have had a rough week on your shoot job, you may have had some kind of problems at home or whatever, but once you get dressed and you walk out that curtain and you see those little kids that just want to touch your hand, that takes everything that you went through all week and anything that was on your mind, it just takes it away, and you start to remember why you fell in love with professional wrestling.
I can dig it, man. Do you have a favorite fan interaction?
Oh, man, I tell you, fans contact me constantly. I mean, there's fans that feel like they know you so well that they're almost family. There are fans you know so well that they're almost family. I mean, it depends how long you stay in a fed. I mean, my home fed I've been at for over 10 years. So I know everyone, So I interact with fans every single day in some way, shape, or form. I may see them. I may actually see them. I may run into them. I mean, I'm a regular guy, so I go to Walmart like everyone else does, you know, and we're just now starting to wear a mask. Before, I didn't have a mask to hide behind. But I have fan interaction every day, so it keeps me young. It keeps me enjoying the business. It keeps me entertaining them, even when I'm not in the ring. When I see them, I'm not that guy. I'm Bliss when you see me. So as soon as I see you, I slide right into Bliss, and that interaction you're going to talk about later on when you eat dinner.
That's awesome, man. I aspire to be that way at some point in time in my life.
You will, brother, because I can tell you're actually out there and you're making moves.
So I like this question. I heard it randomly and then I stole it from another podcast. I'm not going to tell which one. So what do you think is one thing that's missing from the wrestling industry?
Real intense storylines and feuds. You know, I was asked on another podcast, what did I enjoy most about wrestling when I was a kid? I didn't have a favorite wrestler per se growing up. I always enjoyed feuds. I loved Tommy Rich versus Bud Sawyer, and I loved Abdul the Butcher and Bruiser Brody and Ric Flair and Rick Steamboat. That was the appeal for me for professional wrestling, and I just feel like those types of feuds don't exist anymore. The reason why those don't exist though is actually because people want it now. They can't invest in a storyline the way they used to invest in the storyline. You know, now they want it right now. So every week you're going to get Randy Orton versus whoever on Monday, and then they may wrestle again on Sunday in the pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Or, you know, they may touch each other before the pay-per-view happens some way, shape, or form. Before, they might do a tag, you know, against each other, or one may jump the other one or something like that before the show. But they didn't have an actual match until that day that they were supposed to have an actual match. And I think that's what's lost in wrestling. I think real intense feuds and storylines.
Yeah, that's wild, man. I have to agree, man. I remember, like, I feel like it was Shawn Michaels. They were getting ready to do a Survivor Series. I think he wanted to wrestle Kurt Angle, but they were on different brands. And I remember, like, he just cut a promo, and he was like, this is what I want to challenge. And I remember that being, like, an 8-week storyline, like, and I was like, they're never going to wrestle. And because I was like, they're on 2 different shows. Doesn't make sense. And then Kurt Angle randomly showed up. And I was like,
yeah.
Oh my God. My mind went through, like, exploded when I saw him. So yes,
it's actually getting a little bit better. I mean, you're getting storylines here and there, you know, but you actually have 3 brands, and guys are kind of shuffling around, you know what I mean? And then COVID has things a little weird where some guys are wrestling and some aren't. So right now we probably have better storylines than we had because the rosters are a little small.
Yeah.
You know? So you're kind of getting guys that are sticking together, you know, and that may be from storylines, or that may be just for safety. You know, they may keep guys together because they feel safe together. So
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So my next question for you, man, is where do you see yourself in 5 years?
in 5 years, I see myself in the audience or in Gorilla watching matches. I don't see myself in the ring anymore, I hope. I actually just turned 50 last Thursday. And, you know, I get this thing where, oh, you don't look 50. You don't look 50. Well, I don't always feel 50 either. When I get in that ring, I feel like I'm, 20. But, before I would wrestle on Friday and I'd get up on Saturday and I wrestle twice probably and once on Sunday. And Monday when I woke up, I feel fine. Now, it's the next Friday and I'm like, man, I still feel that that body slam, So in 5 years, I would like to maybe start another training center, and maybe keep a promotion running, and just help with the younger guys coming up, and teach them things they need to know to possibly move on to the next level.
I like it. I like it a lot. So, speaking of moving guys to the next level, what advice would you give to up and coming pro wrestlers?
The same thing that my trainer taught me, keep your eyes open and your mouth shut, learn. One thing that I don't see a lot of guys doing as much as they should is going to training. And that goes for vets too. Just because, you've been wrestling for 10 years, and you think you know everything, you may know everything. You may know a lot, maybe not everything. But, you still need to get in there and train. You still need to keep up with these younger guys. You still need to stay in shape. So, I think you need to train. Also, carry yourself in a professional way, in a professional manner. If you get a chance to be an extra for AEW, for Impact, for WWE, when you go, carry yourself in a professional manner. Follow the rules they want you to follow, and do what you're supposed to do. Hopefully, you get a chance to make it onto TV, and if you do well enough, you'll be invited back to maybe do more things. I have plenty of friends that have been able to do things. I've been able to do things. So, and never give up. If this is your dream, if this is your passion, go get it. Go capture it, and never stop until you get to where you want to be. I never thought that I would have ended up on WWE TV. I ended up on WWE TV, and now I have another notch in my belt. I have another check mark on my bucket list, So, in the end, hopefully I'll get to put that check next to Dubai. Because I want to go there.
Well, I hope that my check actually my check, I've already had the Dubai check. So my check now is just the WWE.
Yeah. Hey, it's out there. It's out there for anyone. Before WWE revolved around a lot of big guys, now guys are smaller. Now the opportunities to go to WWE is a lot better for guys, under 6 foot, under 225 pounds. Now it's kind of like wide open. If you come with talent, if you could talk, you have a good look, and you can work in that ring, you could possibly have an opportunity to make it in WWE if you have good attitude and you work hard. So that's open to anyone, including you, Cliff.
You're going to catch me. I'm going to be there. Red Dog showing up on WWE. You know what? I'm not going to lie. I love the way NXT runs. I was like, that would be like my dream thing right there. I feel like that would be like the pinnacle for me. Like, I know everybody's like, oh, I want to be WWE champion. Like, no, I just want to make it to NXT. And then from there, make new goals.
Yeah. Well, everyone's goals are different. Everyone's goal is not to make it to WWE. Some people's goals are to make it to NXT. Some people's goals are to make it to a smaller, well, not necessarily a smaller fed, but MLW, places like that have national. Some guys don't even want to wrestle in the United States. Some guys want to go to Japan. That's some guy, or Mexico. So I know people that wrestled in Mexico most of their careers, and didn't really even wrestle in the United States but they're from the United States, and that's what their dream was.
Yeah. I have a couple of those friends. We'll talk about it all after this, because we're not gonna spill beans out here. We're not gonna give you guys those kind of details. We have post and pre-shows, man. We don't talk about those things.
That's right.
What we will talk about is these 10-count questions. Our world famous 10-count questions. First thought that comes to your mind, so you don't have to worry. There's no way that you can fail this test. But we're going to put the imaginary timer on the clock. Bing! It's right there. So let's get started. SmackDown or Raw?
Raw.
Best wrestling era?
80s.
Hey, I like it.
Early 80s.
Okay. Least favorite WWE or WWF wrestler?
Oh, geez. Oh man. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of like something about everyone, I think.
Favorite drink on a Friday night?
Water.
I like it. Too hot or too cold?
Too cold.
Favorite candy?
Twix.
Hey, see, I like that. That's good. Hawk or animal?
Oh man. Animal.
Hey. Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Okay. Let's see. Last TV show you watched?
First 48.
Okay. Nice. What's your go-to Netflix show?
Oh man.
I feel like I like.
Geez. I don't think I watch anything on Netflix. I do watch movies on Netflix though. The one with Jamie Foxx, Power thing.
Oh yeah, Project Power.
Yes, that was pretty awesome.
A great show. There's your plug, Netflix. Now we want our money. And my last question for you is my favorite question to ask everybody. Favorite curse word?
Shit.
Yeah, there we go. So that's the world famous 10 count questions, and let our listeners and viewers know where they can find you.
Well, you can find me on Facebook. Adrian Bliss has a like page. You can also find me at on Valor Pro Wrestling page. You can find me at CCW Classic Championship Wrestling page. And feel free to go on YouTube and put in Adrian Bliss versus, and all the matches that pop up. That's it.
Awesome. So, with that being said, I'm your host, Clifford Red Dog Miller. This is the 3 Count Presents Now Into the Ring, Adrian Bliss. And check out the next episode. So, be there or
eat a lot of chocolate.
Be somewhere else.
Hello, 3 Count Podcast. If you enjoy what you're watching and you wouldn't mind going out your day to support us, go follow us on Twitter at 3count_pod, Instagram 3countpod, and if you want to look dripped out like your boy JJ, go to prowrestlingtees.com/the3countpod, and it's the number 3. Oh, and by the mention, we have a YouTube channel, so go check that out. The 3 Count Podcast with the number 3. JJ out.